whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
Whakapiripiri mai, whakatatatata mai. E te iwi nau mai hoki mai anei ki a Taringa te punua pāho. E whakapāho atu nei, iko nei, i te wānanga o te roa, i te piki auahi, the bustling metropolis of Taumatu. And anei anō mātou, anei mātou.
Te tokotoru.
Te tokotoru. Ko hau tēnei ko Praone.
Ko hau tēnei ko te puaheiri.
Ko hau tēnei ko Erica.
Ana. So welcome back to Taringa e te iwi, and before we launch into Tikanga tahi kore tahi, we've got our kiwaha. Anei te tai kiwaha e pāna ki te wā. So this is about time. Future. Actually, you can use it, well, in this context, we're going to be using future. So, hei raurangira.
Hei raurangira.
Hei raurangira, hei araurangi. Hei
raurangi.
Yeah.
Hei raurangira.
Hei raurangira.
Hei raurangira.
Which means at some time in the future.
Yeah, it's indefinite, eh?
Yeah.
Sometime.
Like another time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
hei raurangira.
not like when you ask your mum, when's dinner?
Yeah,
you
unless
know
she's really mean and doesn't want to feed you.
or like say you're going on a sabbatical, but it's for a year. You're not leaving, but hei raurangi rā ka hoki mai anō.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Hei raurangi.
Say, when are you going to do their, when are you going to mow the lawns? Oh, hei raurangi.
Hei raurangi rā. Hei raurangi rā.
When are you going to finish the korowai you're making?
Yeah.
Hei raurangi rā.
When are you going to do all these things around the house? The
Oh,
story of
shout
my
us
life.
lunch. Hei raurangi rā.
Hei raurangi rā.
Hey, there you go, e te iwi, hei raurangi rā. Nō reira, e te iwi anei tā tātai kaupapa e kōrero ana ki te taonga Māori.
Taonga Māori, aye.
So we're speaking about taonga, and I know it's quite a broad kaupapa because lots of things are taonga.
Article 2.
Exactly, both tangible and intangible. But we're going to be talking about some tikanga practices, customs around, I guess when we hear that word taonga, I know when I was little anyway, when I heard the word taonga, I'd think of a pendant.
Kia ora.
Even in Kapaka, you
Yep.
told, make sure you got your taonga.
Yeah, or we're only having bone taonga, or only having pounamu taonga, you know?
Yeah. So we're talking about Whakarākei.
Kia ora.
So adornments, taonga, and it'll lead our kaupapa kōrero into other areas as we do.
No
but
doubt.
Ana, engari, koene ko te kaupapa matua, ko te taonga.
Ko te taonga, kia ora.
Well, where I want to start with is, it might be obvious to us, or to some of our listeners, but this tikanga of getting our taonga blessed.
Kia ora.
I get quite a few people come to me with their taonga. Now, whether it be pounamu, greenstone, praoa, whalebone, or iwi kau.
Iwi kei.
That was a bit clever, but you might not get that. But anyway, might be cow bone. Nonetheless, it's still a taonga.
Or resin.
Ana.
Resin.
Resin.
Exactly.
Aye.
So people have this whakaro to bless their taonga. What are you thinking, Erica, when you get a taonga blessed? What's going through your whakaro? Why do you want that taonga blessed?
Wow, because I just thought that's what you're supposed to do.
Good answer.
Good answer. That's how tikanga's handed down.
Nowadays, I feel like or have come to understand that it's a bit of a pure.
Kia ora.
You're sort of clearing whatever energies may have been attached to it to make way for your own.
Tēnā koe. Pewhia koe hoa. Pewhia o whakaro ki tēnā tikanga.
Ai, kia haune kei te whakatō koe i etahi o whakaro, i tētahi mauri. Kia whakapai i tō taonga, kia arahi rānei, kia taki rānei i te tangata, i te kaimau. You're investing some sort of energy or some good thought into that object so it can look after the bearer. Or like you said, you don't know where that taonga's come from or where the materials were sourced from. You're cleansing it first before investing some mauri or energy into it.
Tēnā koe. So there's a couple of kupu I was going to pick up on. I whakamahi a Erica i te kupu pure.
Pure,
And I think we've spoken about pure before. And pure is to cleanse, is what the Puaheiri said. And then he mentioned mauri or energy. yeah, pēnā no ku whakaro. But same as you, Erica, when I was little, it was just the thing to do.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, take it to Nan, you know, and then Nan would say whakarite. Whakarite, and I think we've spoken about whakarite as well as a blessing. And then when I got a bit older, she shared with me how she blesses Taonga. And then that's how sort of the pattern I followed. So we'd always mention then Te Tairangi Kāhu.
Kia ora.
So Te Atua, Te Tairangi Kāhu, and then we'd have a karakia to bless the Taonga.
Kia ora.
Here in Tawamutu, and the museum might not like this, but I was taught that if you can't find anybody to bless your taonga, to take it up to the museum and go to Uenuku.
Uenuku, kia ora.
Give your whakaro to Uenuku and then touch your taonga to Uenuku.
Kia ora.
Yeah, and he will take care of it. Because Uenuku, and if those of you that aren't familiar with this taonga, which is also a taonga, which dates from the coming of Te Waka o Tainui, that Uenuku is a messenger, I guess, or really imbued with that godly element and is seen as the tangible on the face of this earth. And then when it comes to pure, and I'm sure the same with kōrua, me e tai o koe te whakarongo ana, and it could be something good for you to ask your pakeke kaumātua whānau. You might have a awa.
Kia ora.
Yeah.
And it's down to intention. What is your intention for that taonga? And as long as your intentions are true, the godly energies will take that into account and they will follow through with your intentions.
Do thy bidding,
Yeah, for that taonga.
Yep.
Whether it be with a ruruku or karakia Māori, traditional or Christian.
Kia ora.
And I've had a lot of karakia for taonga. There's a melding, can be the melding of the two. So that's another one that we've been taught is if it's for a pure, to take the taonga to the awa.
To the awa. Kia ora.
And for some it would be the moana. And again, going back on some kōrero that's been shared, if it's the energy you want to put into the taonga, then you wait for the seventh wave,
Gee, I haven't heard that one. That's a cool one.
Yeah, I think it's the seventh wave. Well, koutou o te moana, and I'm sure.
Wasn't it, the seventh one usually the bigger one?
Yeah.
And then they reset?
Yeah, so you wait for the seventh wave or the incoming tide.
Yeah. We can do that with most things for pure. I think Rere Atamaki, I talked about it. So half tide going out is the pure, because you're taking away, and half tide coming in is you're receiving the new energy.
Sort of like te taimiti o rehu,
Te taimiti o rehu.
So those are some of the things that I've been taught to bless a taonga, which might not only be one that you wear, it could be a patu or
Kia ora.
a taiaha. And of course, I guess what ritual does is, because you're actually performing a ritual when you do it. So when you have that ritual, kei te whakatapu koe o whakaaro. So you're going to a sacred space within your thoughts and your spirituality. And by doing that, you intensify that intention for what you want for that taonga, for another person. Usually you get someone to bless a taonga for you, but sometimes you can't.
What do you do? Because you've had a bit of experience blessing taonga for people. And secondly, what can others do if they're new to this and they want to do it, if they can't find someone?
Well, I said a little chuckle because we get a few people turn up at te taupaipai o te wānanga o te rohi and Tawamutu looking for someone to bless their taonga. Yeah, both Māori and Pākehā.
Well, if you want to get you go to Justice of the Peace to sign off. You go to the wānanga to get your you've got to put a fee on it now.
Tell you what, initially the first time I experienced this was when our koro was still working at the wānanga hu ki te rangi. He was the kaumātua at the time. And we used to get a few people actually come. This is 10 years ago now, I remember, and I was sort of like, oh, nah, bugger off. But he was quite open to it.
Kia ora.
And he said to me, well, praone, these people are coming with the right intent. Well, he didn't say intention, with the aroha inside of them to do this tikanga. So, if we've got these taonga,
Kia ora.
Talking about the mātauranga of what to do. So, yeah, I'm going to help these people.
Share it.
Yeah, that's sort of my whakaaro.
A responsibility too, Yeah, kia ora.
Yeah, but going back to your pātai, I'm imagining it could be difficult for people that want to sort of enact this tikanga, I guess, or uphold this tikanga, and they may be in an area they don't know anybody. They might be new somewhere. They might be from Ngāpui, but they live down south, so it's a bit hard for them to go home, and they want to get that taonga done. Again, I would, well, firstly, talk to somebody local.
Kia ora.
Surely you know some local people, and they might be able to guide you to a kaumātua that can do it, or someone that has that knowledge, ability. Ring home.
Ring home, yeah.
It's another one, ring home, and see what your kaumātua, your ruruhi, your kuia, or your koraua says, or uncles or aunties. They'll give you some advice. They might say, hey, I'll do it over the phone, was what my nan used to do.
Really?
So pause there. That's a possibility, ne?
Yep.
Kia ora. Nā te me kei reira tonu te whakaro. The intention is still there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just going to park that there, so make sure I come back to there while I go off on a little, I won't say a kotiti, but another huarahi. I'm reminded of a kōrero, and it was actually Wharehuia shared this with me. They were away they were at a kaupapa, and he had some tauira with him, and one of them happened to be mokopuna of Henare Tūwhāngai. Anyway, she went somewhere she shouldn't have, apparently, or something happened, and she started having these fits. Te rangihau was with this John Rangihau, no Tūhoi, and straight away he said they had a karakia, or they thought something medical, physical, but he clicked that it was something spiritual. And he said, ring Henare. So they rang back, and this is before cell phones and that, and luckily they got Koro Henare wherever he was. And Henare gave them these directions through the phone, done his karakia from there. And by the way, I heard the story years after my nan used to do this with us, so it was like, wow, like,
Yeah.
you know, this is who they call the dean of all tohunga in his day. And then he instructed te wharehuia to spit on his hand, and then place his hand on the forehead of his mokopuna. And wharehuia was a bit reluctant to do so, but he did, carried out Henare, the directions of Koro Henare. Henare tana karakia, wharehuia spat on his hand, and then put that tuwha on the forehead of his mokopuna, and she snapped out of it straight away.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, we could go into a wānanga about the use of tuwha in the old days, and maybe I may have even shared a bit, or I wouldn't say too much.
Hair cutting.
Yeah, or with lots of things.
Yeah.
There's lots of kōrero of not lots, but I've heard kōrero of particular tohunga and people when they go to visit somewhere, how they would use their spittle, their tuwha, the wai, because imbued in that tuwha are your whakaro and your kupu. So the reasoning behind was Henare set the karakia, it went into wharehuia, into his ear, and so into his tinana, which then transferred into his tuwha, which he used to put on.
Yeah. Did he say something like kaito tuwha taku karakia or something like that?
I can't
When he
remember
was reluctant.
I can't remember him saying that part. Yeah.
Okay.
In the story, but that's the general thing
Wow.
of the kōrero. So anyway, going back to my nan on the phone,
Kia ora.
that's a possibility.
Aye, choice.
Ring your, they might be able to karakia from where they are. And then what we used to do is, Nana would, usually it wasn't for Taonga though, it was for when we were going somewhere, and I think I may have spoken about this. And Nana would do the karakia, and then we go to the water and sprinkle ourselves.
Cool.
So, you know, and then my nan, she was old school as, but she was on a game.
Yeah.
So that might be an option, but I think the point was to ring home.
Yeah.
You may not be Māori.
Yeah.
Kia ora.
You may be Pākehā or whatever. Again, get in touch with some Māori.
Yeah.
It might be the wānanga or somebody. Again, I think it comes down to intention. If your intention is true, I think the people who you contact will feel that you're doing it for the right reasons.
Kia ora.
You know? So, yeah.
So you would definitely get it blessed before you wear it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can...
Well, you know, again, I'm going back to, it comes down to feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes down to feeling. So, yeah, what you feel.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when I give the taonga, I I'll give it to them and it hasn't been blessed because they might want someone to bless it.
True.
Yeah. I know in the wānanga we give a lot of people taonga as they might be going away things, and I'll bless those taonga before they get a taonga. So yeah, every situation's sort of different. Yeah. Even old ones that were worn, even though they might belong to your tupuna or something, someone just might want a refresh. I would say you're removing those things that because you're queer wore it in your mataku.
Yeah.
But it's more of a refresh.
Yeah.
You know, and as Puaheiri was saying, one of the things I say in my ruruku is ko koe hei kaitiaki mō and put their name in, ana ko ia hei kaitiaki mō. So you're going to look after them and they're going to look after you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Me whakarongo pi kari kari.
And if you look at it, say if it's an heirloom or something, and that person is new, could be new to it in terms of being the possessor, you may be investing their intention as well.
Yes.
That wasn't there before, but you're investing that in it, which strengthens what was already there.
Yeah,
or, you know.
exactly. That's a good tino pai tēnā kōrero. Strengthening their bond and creating a bond.
Tika.
Or creating a bond. Their own bond with them for that time that they're going to have the taonga. Yeah.
Do you go and do like refreshers with your own taonga?
Yes. Māua ko ngā huia. We use the marama.
Oh, yeah.
So on a rākau nui, we'll put our taonga out. Doesn't have to be outside. We'll put them on the windowsill.
Yeah.
Even if it's a cloudy night, you know, it's rākau nui.
Yeah.
We'll put
high energy.
Yeah, high energy. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's quite... I see a lot of people doing that. They call it moon bathing.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
yeah. But how whakaaro mo taua mahi, te mahi e mahi ana e kōrua?
Well, I think it's the same sort of thing, a refresh, because, you know, roto i te whakaaro Māori, if we go back to the Māui narrative and his kōrero to Hene Nui Te Pō, one of the many Māui narratives, and when he said to Hene Nui Te Pō, I want to be like the marama. The marama dies.
Yeah.
And then the marama is reborn again.
Reborn, aye.
You know, and then there's that time of the month for te marama, when it's at its high energy, rākau nui. You got the other phases, of course, but rākau nui. So yeah, I think it's like sort of like, a refresh in that sense.
Yeah, kia ora.
That's something that we've only recently started doing.
Aye, yeah.
I've got a whatu Māori that I was gifted in e taonga. Well, e taonga Māori, he taonga taketake no tāwāhi.
Is this your dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we've talked about this one before.
Yeah, and when I've been told, and now I do, if I'm going to do some work with it, I sit the taonga, the whatu, in some way for the night.
Aye.
Yeah, and then I'll use that way. Yeah, to do the
work.
Yeah.
So, so I'm used to seeing people getting their taonga as in necklaces, those types of adornments blessed. What about things like earrings, because they're much smaller?
Yeah. So anything, earrings, if they're pounamu, and you know, we could get into a debate here, or maybe not a debate, maybe a discussion about, you know, what about, there's a lot of taonga, we mentioned resin. Yeah, they look like pounamu.
Yep. And people, gold.
Yeah, and people treasure them. Yeah. You know, like that. Well, one of my nannies, Nanny Naki, she had all these rings, you know, and this is a story within our whānau. And our nan she was a tohunga.
Aye.
And she never said she was, but everybody said she was a tohunga. And ko tau e whakarongo mai ana, kau e me kōrero whakahi i tēnei, engari e koina. And she had a lot of rings that had things on them.
Yeah.
That whānau had gifted to her to wear because they couldn't look after, I guess, the tapu that were on those things. And they were gold, they were heirlooms. Yeah, so she would look after those things. So yeah, again.
Yeah, and you know, if you're looking at, so I'm talking about gold or the minerals, not te whenua. You know, so here in mineral, you know, it's a mineral. So it has its properties
Yeah.
Yeah.
per se, spiritually.
Yeah.
Okay, and so of course we would get things like mere and patu blessed. Is the ruraku, that was your word, your kupu.
Yeah.
Are they any different for those types of taonga to the ones that we wear on our body?
Well, it comes down to, again, what is that mere going to be used for? Are you going to give it a name?
Yeah.
And a lot of heitiki, famed heitiki, you've got Te Ngako, which was a famed tiki of Ngāti Tūwharetoa, which one of our tupuna war during when she, in her rebuttal to defaming
remarks towards fouling prowess.
So you had heitiki and even Mau Taringa that had names.
Yeah.
You know, so they carried another level of tapu and mana and wehi.
Wehi, yeah.
As well. And patu, mere, which were the Excaliburs of te ao Māori. So definitely, I've got a mere, and I was fortunate that I asked wharehuia for a name for the mere. Well, first I asked Pou, taku tohu ngā Pou.
How tāna? Hei raurangira.
I asked him to do the karakata whakatoa Māori, and he says, ka pai, and then he asked me, he said, koe te ingoa o te mere nei, and I went, and he goes, well, ka reo e whakatoa i te Māori, ka rehe ingoa.
Kia ora.
I'm not going to put a Māori in it because it hasn't got a name. Once it's got a name, then you can come back to me. So I asked wharehuia for a name, and it took a couple of days, and then I thought he forgot, and then we flew home. And when we landed, he was asleep on the plane, and when we landed, it was funny. When we landed, he opened his eyes and he gave me the name of the mere. And then it was sometime after that we went down to the river, to Pūniu. It was one of the memories that I treasure. We all went down, myself, Pou and wharehuia, to Pūniu, and Pou done the karakia on the mere. And with the naming of it. So it was, and whakatoa te Māori i roto. Rangi mā tāmua, he nāna taku kakauroa. So I've got a kakauroa.
What's that?
A long-handled hatchet.
Hatchet, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, a contemporary, but carved, made out of maire, with an old iron head, the old hatchets.
Cool.
I've got a lot of taonga that, I'm not boasting or anything, but sort of like just how things worked out, where people done the karakia on significant occasions. So like that one for Pou and wharehuia, it just so happened that we had quite an intense wānanga. So that's my memory that I hold with that taonga.
Yeah.
And this kakauroa was when we were honoured to assist Pou in opening the new campus in Whakatane.
Cool.
And Rangi done it on the morning of that, actually it was the night before. Yeah. And he used, he done the karakia and I used my tuwha on there. Yeah, so there are different, there are times where the karakia will be different.
Yep.
And again, that goes up, that's another level of knowledge and expertise.
And so, well, trying to come back to taonga, not in general, but the word dowry, traditional dowry?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
How te kupu mo te dowry?
E pāku whā,
Ai.
e pāku harane.
Ai.
Yeah. So which also means to touch.
Ai.
It's an old word for marriage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pāku whā, pākuha. And in some iwi, it describes somebody related to you by marriage.
By marriage, yeah.
There was a pāku whā, which was a taonga, a dowry, I guess.
Kia ora.
Which would be sent with the bride to be given to the groom's whānau. And sometimes it would be reciprocated. There'd be a swapping of taonga.
Kia ora. Not just toasters and clocks, eh?
No. Yeah. So it could be in the form of a kākahu.
Kia ora.
And when I use the word kākahu, I'm talking about a cloak.
Ai.
And not just any,
Ai.
Could be one that's been handed down
Kia ora.
within that whānau. or one that's made specifically for that occasion. Yeah, and there'd be a swap sort of a thing. Well, not a swap, it's sort of like reciprocation. And it's to show that coming together of two people in unity, the unification, I guess, of peoples.
Almost symbolic of you're giving your taonga.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, and then of course if, you know, things went sort of but
Sour.
Yeah.
You know,
if the house wasn't big enough.
the taonga might be given back.
Yeah. And the taonga
things have to be
returned.
pretty bad for that to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. So, there's kōrero, lots of kōrero out there in iwi about particular tupuna when they were betrothed or when they had their pākuwha ritual, that kākahu, mere pounamu, heitiki and things were exchanged or given.
Yeah.
Ne?
Why is so this might be a silly question. Why is heitiki such a sought after, or why is it more revered, or such a big
Is it because it
symbol in Te Ao Māori?
symbolises the first man?
Yeah, that's one. So it goes back to tiki
ahua.
tiki ahua, tiki āpua, mai hawaiki, tiki tawhito ariki, tiki te tupua. So definitely all that kōrero on the tiki. And this is my whakaaro too about the tiki. If you look at the taonga, and okay, you've got a mere pounamu, there's a bit more work that goes into a tiki.
Yeah, a
Kia ora.
bit more intricate.
Absolutely.
Aye.
And I mean, when you look at some of these tiki, well, actually all of them,
Aye.
they're beautiful, and even more beautiful when you realise that they were made in an age before.
Pre-iron.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They didn't have diamond drills and all this business.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not taking anything away from the workmanship that goes into making a mere pounamu, you know. But apart from the reke
Aye.
of the mere pounamu, which is the butt
The coil grooves. Yeah.
at the end, there's no adornment on mere pounamu. Any adornment you see on mere pounamu is quite a contemporary thing. You've got the drills and things.
Aye.
And just while we're on the reke of the mere pounamu, those rings, when it's first made, there's one ring. Traditionally, this is one thing I've been told, and every generation after adds a ring
Oh no.
to that reke.
Sure.
So you'll see some of the old mere pounamu, they actually
I'm
have
going to look out for that when I go to museums now.
yeah, you see some of them, they haven't actually got any rings because they only
With the first owner.
that first owner, and they might have been given away when that tikanga finished. You know, or they might only have two on the reke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't ask me what happens when you run out of rings.
Yeah.
But that's a kōrero I
And
read.
here's me thinking all the time it's for the rope to coil around it.
On the reke,
Yeah, that's what I always thought it was for.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, cool.
Yeah, so that's one kōrero.
And two rings could equal like 100 years.
Yeah.
So, even to have two rings, that's a long time.
And just going back to the tiki, and I talked a little bit about te ngako, for our tupuna to even know these taonga.
Kia ora.
Yeah.
So, there's kōrero about particular rangatira giving their, not always a tiki, it could be an ear pendant,
Aye.
an eardrop or something, to give them safe passage.
Yeah. It was,
So they're going along and then, hey, who are you? Oh, shit, he's wearing,
He's got the passport, he's got
bit
the
of a
mana.
clue,
Yeah,
He's got mana passport, yeah.
Because he's wearing he or she is wearing that earring,
Yeah.
Or it could be a kākau, but a lot of time it was an earring. He tiki a te kani te ua was, tētahi, probably the last ariki, I could be wrong, of te Taonga mahaki. And a lot of people that got his mātauranga, he gave a mako to,
Cool.
and a whalebone tooth, for those of you that don't know. Oh, not a whalebone, a shark tooth. He'd give one of his mako. And that mako, some of those were from his teacher before him.
Yeah.
And one of his tauira that got his mako was Irirangi Tiakiawa,
Kia ora.
who was the pauako of Wetini Mitai Ngātai. So, you know, those are the other ways taonga
So
we
rather
use was
than-
to show, okay, this is my tauira.
Yeah, rather than a graduation certificate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mean.
And to show to everybody, this is the person I've given my mātauranga to.
Yeah.
Cool.
Almost an inherited mana, or it was either, yes, you have the mātauranga, but also you have an eye on you because he no te tauira, he no te tahunga.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So there's also other kōrero, you know, we've talked about the gifting. There's also kōrero about when a gift is an honoured. And so when someone gives you something, we've talked about hau.
Aye.
When they give you a taonga, their hau is on it, on this taonga they've given you. And you should look after that taonga because they've given it to you with the intention of it being a taonga for you. And, you know, it's they're recognising your mana. You shouldn't just give it away, you know. You hold on to it for a period of, you know, you should hold on to it forever.
Yeah.
Or at least a long period of time before passing it on. So there's a kōrero i roto ia te arawa and ko wareware au te ingo ngā tūpuna. I remember one, but I don't want to mention one and leave one out. But anyway, the crux or the main point of the story is this tūpuna gave this taonga to this other tūpuna, which was quite a revered taonga.
Right.
And he gave it away too quickly. And it actually caused a war, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, this is the whakaro that our tūpuna put on these taonga.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if, you know, you see it a lot. If you treat a taonga with such, I don't know, with such aroha and such mana, and you give it to someone and they don't share the same idea,
Yeah.
it's a takahi mana. Or it's like, you know, I really put a lot into this for you to hopefully enjoy the same way, and then it becomes a fruit bowl or, you know, some, you know, a doorstop or...
Well, it could be, you know, like, simply break it down. It could be you buy one of your niece or your moko or your child, you know, you spend a lot of money on this thing, you know, and you know, you go out 3 weeks before Christmas and you're looking all around for it, and you know, you spend this money, you get this taonga or present, and you give it to them and they open on Christmas, and the next day they've swapped it with one of their mates' presents.
Yeah.
You know, how would you feel? If that happened?
Yeah.
So same sort of a thing.
Yeah.
You know, with these taonga Māori.
Kia ora. What about like the returning of some? Because I know I've heard of a tikanga and a taonga is just a koha for a time.
Yeah.
And then it's returned.
Like Indian giving.
Yeah, but it's because the purpose is finished.
Okay.
And then the iwi decide, it's time for us to return this.
Yeah.
And then there's been a few occasions where the iwi goes, ka pai, ko ea. And then they still keep the taonga. They say the gesture is enough.
Yeah.
The taonga stays with you. Have you heard it? Yeah, I don't have any specific.
Yeah, that's
example.
right. That's right. There's instances where things like that with taonga were given, and the iwi that it was given to, they know that is quite a big decision for that other iwi to give them this taonga. That could be the crown jewel, I guess.
The crown jewel, kia ora.
So it's in the gesture that they've given the taonga. So they've recognised the mana of that other iwi, or it could be a fault. You know, I've heard of two pāpaku that were taken. And the other iwi has asked the other iwi, well, you need to give us, you know, so many mere, this and that, and that was sort of a bit of muru going on there.
Muru,
Yeah, bit of muru, but back to this one, that there are instances where their taonga would be given back after time. Not that it was an expectation of the iwi that gave the taonga.
Yeah, tika. So there aren't specific T's and C's to taonga, but if you're in the right whakaro or te whakaro Māori, ka kite koe i ngā āhuatanga, me ngā tikanga.
Yeah. Koe nei e tahi āhuatanga. Ana ki rā. It might differ to when you're going into a souvenir shop and getting a $5 power
At the airport.
yeah, but at the same time, you know, somebody that's purchased that taonga with love and with intention, you know, it may not have as much monetary value as something you get from the Kura Gallery for, you know, a couple of $1,000, but nonetheless, they've given it to you in aroha.
Yeah.
So you always have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they took the time to think about you, then it must mean something.
Yeah. What about taonga at Tangihanga? I know of some places where there's a different way that you lie it next to the tūpapaku to indicate whether it goes down with the person or it stays up with the person. Have you seen any other tikanga like that?
Well, I've heard sort of two different sort of kōrero. Our one is that it lays on with the handle facing, like how the person would hold it.
Ah, yeah.
Because then the thinking is the handle's facing out so you can take the patu.
Oh, okay, so
If
the
it's
handle...
turning the other way, the handle facing
The rau.
the row down, then it's going to be going with them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I've heard another kōrero that, well, actually it's put that way in case anybody comes to take the tūpapaku.
Aye.
The kirimate, they've got quick access to grab the patu
grab the
and
patu.
Okay. So more of a practical...
Yeah, but then, you know,
Kei
Jared...
tēnā, ne?
Yeah, te tai aku huanga hoa. Jared, he was saying, you know, they got into this sort of... It was a bit of a debate. There was a uhunga and tokoro and his kuia, I think. They took their whānau kahukiwi to put on somebody, and they got told, oh, you got it round the wrong way. And well, again, how I've been taught is if it's not going, then the remu, which is the end of the kākahu, goes up to the neck.
Kia ora.
And the taura are at the feet.
Kia ora.
And they says, oh, you put it on the wrong way. And then his nanny turned around and said, ko ai te pōrangi. Ko ai te pōrangi ka tanu i te kahukiwi.
Aye.
You know? Who's stupid enough these days to bury a kahukiwi no matter which way the thing goes?
Tiga.
I think it's us trying to retain, you know, some of the tikanga around how things were laid on the tūpapaku, which I believe were an indicator to the people that were taking the tūpapaku, so they knew what was going and what was staying. But in reality, if we go back to the old practices, everything on the tūpapaku went with the tūpapaku.
Even the pononga.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes even the wives.
Even the wives,
Or the husbands. Anyway, we'll leave that kōrero. Koina tētahi kōrero.
I know a funny story amongst our whānau. Prominent composer, when he passed away and he had all these taonga put on him, and my auntie went around turning them upside down so they wouldn't all go down because he had these big... I seen this... it was a tefa prawa.
Yeah,
but it was the size of the paiaka. It's a smaller tefa, but it was all made out of prawa, of whalebone.
Cool.
Big pieces, and they were all facing up as if indicating they were going down, and my auntie during the night went and turned them all upside down.
Sneakily turned them around.
These aren't going down. So that's one tikanga. So be wary of how you put your taonga on the tūpapaku if you want it to stay up.
Again,
if not, just leave it.
The
Don't put
guidance
it on
of your kaumātua.
Tiga.
And, you know, don't really want to get into talking too much about tangihanga, but just as a footnote to those of you, you know, things can get a bit hectic and it's a bit of a pandemonium when it comes to the time to put the taupoki on the lid on.
Tiga.
Make sure that those taonga that aren't going have been removed because it's terrible if you have to take that lid off. Anyway, we'll leave park that kōrero there.
What about, there's been a few cases of people finding taonga under their house. What should you do if you find some?
Trade me. Nah.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Well, you go on there if you're looking for anyone who's selling their abilities to perhaps whakawātea. Well, if you're not from there, get in touch with the mana whenua. If you're from there, get in touch with those that know what they're doing. And that'll be my first thing. Again, jump on their phone.
Yeah.
E noho ana tātou I roto I te ao huri nei te ao hangarau.
There you go.
Jump on there and google.com. It's pretty easy these days to find who the iwi authority is.
Yeah.
And they'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, it's harder to be ignorant these days, eh?
Yeah. Another one I forgot is get in touch with your museum, and because the museum have got the networks.
Yeah.
It's not about them coming to get the taonga, but they'll be able to point you in the right direction, because the museum work a lot with iwi and kaumata. And the other one you may not have thought of is the police.
Kia ora.
Yeah.
Again, police work a lot with kaumata for various
True.
kaupapa and take. So yeah, get in touch with the police. Definitely don't hold on to it and don't say anything. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some huarahi kia koe if you find any taonga. And yeah, whether it's ads or, I recall some of my and they've passed on, koro Tom and Nene Nuki, and they had all these flint and adze pieces that they had dug up on their farm over the years that the museum didn't want because they didn't have enough room. And I thought, man, if these were pounamu, the museum would want them.
Yeah, that'd make the room.
Yeah. But again, there might be things you dig up. If again, it comes down to intention.
Tika.
What do you feel? What are you feeling? You know what the right thing to do is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do the right thing.
We used to get told a lot, put it back.
Yeah. Well, again,
we were kids playing around in the
Must
bush,
be there
and
for a reason.
we found a few things, and they just say, leave it there, go for a swim, and just don't touch it, or put it back.
yeah.
If you found it in some place, we got told that. But under your house, I'd find the owner to it.
Again, those things, sometimes they find you.
Tika.
You know, it's not that you found them, they've found you, and there's a reason that they wanted to be found. And yeah, again, it was by the advice of your kaumata, whoever said put it back.
Yeah.
I tell you now, if I'm swimming around in Puni and I find a heitiki, I think that heitiki has been wanted to be found.
Tika.
Yeah, and I'd rather that a mokopuna of the whenua of that place holds on to that heitiki than I just leave it there. So
Then
again,
a
there
farmer
were different
finding
scenarios
it.
and contexts.
Yeah, tika. Yeah, kia ora.
So maybe in finishing, you might be thinking, well, I want to give my taonga a name. Again, maybe consult with somebody
Aye.
if you want to give it a name. It could be something āwari, like ngākau aroha or something like that. Be careful with giving it tupuna names.
Aye.
And again, talk to somebody who has the mātauranga and the mōhiotanga. Yeah, to guide you, or perhaps give a name for the taonga.
Yeah. And in saying that too, you could name it in a way, but it's what you invest in it and the time that it stays around you that it gives it weight.
Yeah.
You can find a heavy name, but it might not fit it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got to look at, like, if you're giving a taonga to one of your pepi or somebody, they're going to be wearing that taonga.
Aye.
So they're wearing the weight or the mana of that name.
Aye.
So, you want to make sure that you're looking after them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have taonga been renamed? You know how, like, tupuna, they would go through different events in their life, then they would gain another name. Has that happened with taonga?
I don't know about taonga. The only example I know wharenui have.
Aye.
And I know waka have.
Kia ora. Aye.
But I'm not sure about taonga.
Taonga.
Like we were talking about adornments and things. Could be. Yeah, I can't see why not.
Yep.
Could usually be an event that would
Yeah.
sort of dictate or guide
Aye.
that.
So in conclusion, find the right expertise.
Yep.
And for your own taonga, look for the expert if you can.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can...
Well, the wānanga could be, there may not be somebody at the wānanga, or not just the wānanga o te ro, could be raukawa o nui harangi. There could be someone there that'll point you in the right direction.
Ka pai.
Yeah.
Ka nui tēnā.
Yeah, ka nui tēnā. E ko te waiata tautoko.
Well, actually, it's a ngeri, and it's going on the same theme that we used for Taringa wera that we've had in some other Tikanga 101. So this is
ringawera.
so this is e mate tamaroto from the compilation CD Kia Wana Te Reo from Te Panekiretanga o Te Reo, and this was written by Timoti Karetu, and it's a mihi for the ringa wera.
Mean.
So if you can't sing, this will be Tuangeri e mate tamaroto. Whakarongo mai.
No reira, koina tāta te waiata, hei tautako i ngā kōrero mo te Taonga Māori Tikanga 101.
Aye.
And yeah, pai katoa ngā kōrero rero.
Pai katoa, yeah. There was a few, we could have deviated somewhat.
We could, but waiho tērā mō raurangi rā.
Mō raurangi rā, aye.
And hei raurangi rā pia, putai he pātai.
Aye.
So maybe sometime in the future, some pātai regarding this kaupapa might come up and you might want to put them on our page. But yeah, same as you, I had some other sort of whakaros going,
yeah, we could have gone on so many tangents, especially.
Good wānanga.
Yeah.
Hoi no, e mihi ana kia koutou. Kau e ware, don't forget, he taonga te whakarongo.
He taonga te whakarongo.
He taonga te whakarongo. And I'll leave that with you. Hei kōrero whakamutinga e te iwi e whakarongo mai nei. Ko koutou anō. Ngā taonga.
Ai.
Anei, o taringa i te mea, me kore ake koutou. Me kore ake koutou e te iwi. E tūnei tēnei kaupapa. Nō reira, e mihi nei mātou kia koutou, hei kona mai rā.
Ki o, whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hooker force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira whakarongo pi kari mai. Hare mai, o Taringa hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
Taringa. He mea tuku nā te wānanga o Aotearoa, nā te māngai pāho I tautoko. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe. Taringa, whakarongo mai.